yeah, it can be tough to try to capture B. That's why teams don't do it. A is always been seen as the more sacrificial capture point. You just give it up. It doesn't really matter. You can try to make A play happen with a couple classes, but again, we're talking about some of the differences of sixes and Highlander. I think our stream just went down.
We are back up.
Yeah, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like we are just about to get going on the second set of GravelPit here in between the Street Hoops Esports and Ginyu Force. Ginyu Force were not able to take the first set. Street Hoops Esports set the time 5:38, I think it was, somewhere in that range. Ginyu Force not able to capture faster than that, but they will be given an opportunity to set the time this round. Get a HUD reload as well. It would be awesome.
I think the Spectator HUD is not enabled. We haven't had that.
No, it should just be the HUD reload scheme, I would think. That might not have fixed things.
Well, shout out to Gold, who valiantly stepped in to help us stream for today. Really appreciate his efforts. And shout out to UGC, who also helped us publicize and everything like that. But we are going live here in the second round of this match. Ginyu, where is Ginyu is the question. Will they try for that B push again? It doesn't look like they're going to be that risky, and we're just going to go traditional A.
Yeah, there's no, there's not much point in going for that B cap. It's just risky, and you have a few more players there that can contest it. If you're in a sixes game and you have two players or one player over on the A side, you're risking a lot more than you are on Highlander. Huey Lewis doing good work shutting down door number 2. Gets a kill on Zalox. That is where some people are trying to rotate through on the balcony side. Now, just real quick, you guys might hear me call out some of those doors as numbers. And if you're at the red spawn, C looking outwards from left to right, you basically have door number 1 all the way over to door number 5, which is on the bottom. And that's just a really convenient way for teams to communicate about different doors that teams are coming through. If you're defending B, those kind of numbers are still applicable because that's where people are going to come through if they're rotating through that C spot. Stabby gets spotted out by Huey Lewis. I think somebody just kind of backed into him, or Huey Lewis barely scraped him with some flames.
Yeah, Stabby was sitting there for like a full minute, or for this whole 56 seconds. And it was very harrowing. Arthur going down to a backstab right there from Colombian, and then Paradox also getting a shot right there as Ginyu Force is just falling apart.
Yeah, big jump in by their soldier, not able to get a frag on the medic though. Mang staying pretty healthy. And, GravelPit as well, and one of the reasons why it's kind of very different from other sixes maps, and why it can be tough for sixes teams to get used to it or to just switch gears into playing it. It's much closer to that like payload mentality of, attacking and defending, and you have moments of offense and moments of tension. Sometimes you got to throw players into suicide, and that's also kind of what's happening right now. Trying to make a play happen. They got Paragon, so Max can have a little bit more room to snipe with. Red Soldier tries to jump in, gets shoved back by the heavy weapons guy. Blue Soldier up on top of the roof, going to try to get the SG or the medic. SG gets sapped. The Uber from Red forced out, going to be used here. Blue has lost a few players, but they still have the potential to push in here and attack.
Now, Overseer dropped her first Uber, so she is working on her second one now. Didn't have it in time to pop in retaliation to kind of clean up there afterwards. And looking about cleaning up, we do have Vacationer in there. What do you see, eXtine?
Deadbolt with an absolutely huge play, running down the hallway and getting Overseer. You were discussing the Uber charge mechanics there and the differences. Now, Blue really pushed far forward to pressure that out of Mang, and that was their goal, was to pressure it out and then keep Overseer tucked away, so that they could then attack safely. But Deadbolt, with the help of his teammates, was able to just kind of keep right on top of Overseer, run all the way down those tunnels, not get killed in time, and get the big frag on Overseer to slow down the push. Now they got to start this all over again. They're going to try to get in before Mang gets the Uber charge, it seems like. I'm sure that was Ruin calling that. She's a very smart player. And Street Hoops have lost 3 now to start this defense off.
Yeah, so a much better push coming out from Ginyu. They don't have this Uber, so it is, of course, a soft push right here. And it looks like Mang, only with about 95%, has to back out too and abandon all hope. Max getting 2K right there, 2 headshots in a row, helping his team push forward with the times 6 times 7. They will be able to capture this. Finally, it looks like.
Yeah, see, that was an interesting play, and I mean, that's just part of the fun dynamics of TF2. You had a moment where, you know, Street Hoops kind of got set back a little bit. Deadbolt came together with a huge play. But then in response, Ginyu Force said, you know what? We have all players up. Let's ignore the Uber mechanics. Let's forget about that. Let's just attack. Let's just try to make something happen right now because their medic doesn't have Uber yet. And they got a really good push in. They got some big frags to start that push that probably happened because of the surprise. And then they followed up. We got Ubers on both sides now. Zaylox is taking out a teleporter. Do what now? Dealing with Abe Lincoln. Battles all around. A couple players going down for Red. Hard to say who's got the upper hand here, but Arthur's gone down. Red Heavy still up, but very low health. And Blue storming the tower. They got a lot of players up here. Red doesn't really have much else that they can throw up here except for Deadbolt.
Oh, but he comes up against Ruin, and Ruin was all on top of that. But no, Paragon with the body shot takes out Ruin. Barely in time.
That was huge. Deadbolt did what he could against Ruin, but I mean that's just a tough matchup. Any scout going one-on-one against Ruin, it's like, I don't know. He held on just enough, and then that sniper coming through. Wow.
Yeah, I talked pre-game about how much fun it is to watch Max snipe. He did some great stuff in Highlander Nations Cup, but Paragon is not shabby at all, as you can see. Great sniper, and we've definitely seen he's been holding his own. We do have Ruin coming in here again, but some nice defense on the point from Huey Lewis brings out that mailbox to send him a message, and it looks like this defense will hold a little bit longer. Max taking down Deadbolt right there on the point. As there's... Overseer's capping the point all by herself. In comes the engineer. Engineer and medic on last. It's not something you see often. Max is going to try to come in here too, but no, he gets a letter in the mail. There's absolutely crazy shenanigans happening right now.
Yeah, big Huey Lewis doing it up. Now, Ruin trying to get up on top of here again. Ginyu Force just throwing players in here time and time again. Hoping this teleporter that they have close up will seal the deal for him. But Red has a teleporter as well behind the shack. DJC on top of the tower again. He's going to go toe-to-toe with Skyrolla, who's very low health. Still gets the frag. Now going to get healed up like a boss, eating his sandwich. And victory. And that's going to slow things down again. So Ginyu Force kind of getting stuffed here on C point. Looked like they were going to be able to land a really nice time. But they just lost their heavy again, which is going to slow things down. And they basically just have to restart the whole process here as that large amount of time that they put on the point has now pretty much disappeared. They are pushing players in here, though, as Zaylox up top gets thrown down. A lot of time on the point. They got to keep people on there in order to hold this. DJC on top of the tower as well. Huey Lewis, though, has been winning the Pyro battle. Can't win it all night. And there we go. Ginyu Force does get the capture, 6:35, so not as fast as the original time set by Street Hoops Esports, but still pretty good. Pretty good.
What do you think of that last minute of pushes in there from Ginyu Force? Just kind of sloppily, just the way everyone was throwing themselves at the point. Didn't look really coordinated. At one point, Overseer was there by herself. Was that planned, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, pushing C is really tough, and it's kind of that knife edge as well, where you kind of have to really commit to a push to make it successful, but you also can't just be throwing people over and over again once the red team, the defensive team, has really set up base. And I guess they did, manage to find that balance, but as I mentioned, they were starting to lose that advantage they had, that pressure they had by how much time that they had put on the point. But because they were able to jump in a lot of players with a high level of coordination and resume the capture very quickly, then plus they got some big frags, finally dealt with Huey Lewis, Red couldn't reinforce, and it worked out. But you have to be careful sometimes, because if you're just throwing in 2 players and then 2 players and then 2 players, sometimes that can just lead to you not capturing the point for 4 minutes. And you just can never really get reset up or restructured so that you can actually end up having a successful attack. But also, especially with Highlander, but TF2 in general, whether you're playing in a pub, sixes, 3v3 cough, whatever, it's a game about momentum. And if you can get successes by being doing stuff that's unexpected and working outside of the frame of what players think you're going to do, then that's very important. And they did that on the B point where they just said, you know, we're in a bad situation. They think that we're not going to attack because of this. Screw it. Let's just jump in. Let's just go aggressive. They're, you know, sometimes they're taking their time. They fake that they're going to go through C, and now they're pushing hard through the lower section of B. They get the Uber forced out earlier. Overseer holds it for a while. Going to be at 40 health here as the Uber fades. Going to be very easy to kill. But do what now? Oh, gets a good kill. To protect the medic, and Overseer, or sorry, Mang, still low health, but doing good.
Oh, Mang going down to a headshot from Max right there, who's perfectly positioned.
Yeah, now you mentioned the snipers in pregame. Now it's this control issue, you know. They were in a good spot after that Uber faded. I was talking a lot about how well Mang was doing, and then Max just sitting on the balcony, snipes him down, and then gets a kill on Spamfest as well. They haven't been able to control him. There goes Huey Lewis as well. So Max, you know, gets a 3K. Now that Paragon's gotten a snipe on him, maybe they'll be able to open this up a little bit more. But they're not in a good place with their numbers.
Oh, out comes Mang again. Oh, barely missing the air shot there. Is the soldier for Street Hoops.
That was a good surf by Mang to dodge that. Now Duwetna is fairly well healed. They have to watch out for this spy. They don't have too many players around them, so they're not going to get too much warning about it. Oh, but Mang does spot it. Is going to get an Uber saw as well. If he hits a second one, then that's going to give a full Uber charge. It doesn't need it. And because Mang did a good job surviving there, that was one of those long-lasting pushes of, you know, throw a couple more players in, throw a couple more players in. That push worked. They're going to be able to get a capture on B here. But that was very knife edge. That was very close. It didn't seem like they were going to land it. Great position here. Uber charged out for both teams. Lucky timing for Mang. I didn't think we were that close to having it. Huey Lewis kind of gets a little bit disconnected, threw out a lot of damage, but they're going to be able to finish this capture no problem. Skyrolla at half health here. Do what now? Full health. And Red's going to have to kind of rotate around. Got to be careful though. Mang gets bloody blocked in by this spy. Great awareness though to shut down Stabby.
Now remember, Street Hoops Esports is up 1-0, so Ginyu Force has to hold this point C for more than 3 minutes and 30 seconds if they want to take this round and extend this match to another round. We'll see though, as 3 minutes and 20 seconds definitely enough time for Street Hoops, as we've seen, have been very aggressive and haven't failed many of their pushes.
Yeah, if they get this together, I mean, this match could be over in the next 3 minutes. They just need to get a successful capture here. See, they have an Uber charge, they have the